just recorded a whole intro, but I wasn't recording, so I didn't record a whole intro. But here we are. Let's actually get this video started. Actually recording. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. I don't normally do face cam intros for art videos, but I wanted to do another 3 marker challenge and I wanted to use all of my markers, but there's a lot. 2 things before I get started though. 1, ignore the awful lighting. I'm only going to be here for this intro bit, so I figured it'll be fine. Just bear with me for a second. It looks kind of ugly, but it'll be fine for a moment. Second, I do have a lot of markers, but I want to say I already suspect a lot of comments of people being like, wow, I wish I had these many markers, or like, wow, you're so lucky you have so many markers. I want to make it very clear that that was also me at one point. I think I've been collecting them for like about 4 or 5 years. I don't know the exact number, but around that. I did buy some of them myself, but some I bought for the sake of this channel and for like this, like a video review. But then also I didn't even buy all of these. A good amount of these are gifts from family members as like presents for various holidays or whatever. So all of that happened over the course of 4 or 5 years, which is why they're in a laundry basket. I tried to find a bin big enough for all of them, but I couldn't. So can I get a proper... Here they are. But also, since there is so many, I had the idea of doing like, so I decided to take 3 markers out from different like mix of markers, I guess. So we're going to start by pulling 3 markers out of all of these. And then I decided that since I have, I think like 4 different brands of alcohol markers, I would do like another 3 marker challenge for each brand of markers. So I have Copic markers, Ohuhu, Spectrum Noir, and Tombow. Wait, no, I also have Prismacolor. I have 5 different brands. After I pick out 3 random ones from here, if I were to like organize them by brand and then pull from there. Without further ado, these are a lot of markers. I'm so sorry for your ears. But I do this. I can't see anything. This one, you know, who marker. Okay. Number 1. Here, let me reach all the way down. Can I do it with my not so long arms? This one. Those look nice together. It's like an earthy, olivey brown color and then a light pink. And you. Another Ohuhu. Oh, interesting. So for starters, we got this like light pink color. We got this like, we got this marker on the floor. We got this like dark purple color. I am gonna swatch them, of course. And then this like earthy, olivey green, brown. So yeah, that's where we're at so far. I'm gonna sort these out and then we'll pull. I think we'll do, I don't know. We'll figure out what order to do this in. Okay, sorted them all out. This is Ohuhu's Copics in the Ohuhu container because the Ohuhus were overflowing, ironically enough. And then here is others. What I think I might actually do, instead of separating these ones by brand, since there's only like a few of these, I might just have all of these mixed in together and pick from them collectively. I mean, I guess we can start with this. And got 1. This is 2. Redo. Is it the same one? Whatever. Oh my god! First of all, I got 1 of each, which is pretty rad. Second of all, these 2 greens are... they exist together. So, and then a bright red, so it's gonna look very Christmassy. We'll do Copics next because they're right here. We got 1. Okay, I'm getting a lot of reds. I mean, I guess I just have a lot of red markers. 2. Okay, and... you. I got a red, a yellow, and a black. At least they work together. But I will say, it's a bit more of a boring combination. And lastly, the Ohuhus. I might do this one. Blue. Okay. And the last pull of all pulls. This one. Oh, fairly safe color scheme. Pretty shocked. Overall, we got pretty good color schemes. I mean, I feel like this one's gonna be a train wreck because it's 2 dark greens and then a bright red. But everything else is pretty workable. I will hop over to my other desk. We will swatch these, make some thumbnails, and make some art. I think I'm going to draw all of them on these because, I mean, they're nice and small, and if I'm going to be making 4 drawings, I'd rather them be nice and small. I've got my handy dandy sketchbook here, so let me open this bad boy up. In terms of what order I do them in, I think I'm going to swatch all of them, and then I'm going to make thumbnail sketches, and I'll probably work from my least favorite to my favorite, because if I save my favorite for the first, no. If I do my favorite first and then save my least favorite for the end, I will probably just get really unmotivated and rush through it and it'll turn out sloppy. I guess in terms of swatching, we'll swatch in the order that we pulled them. So we'll start with the all markers, which only I grabbed Ohuhu and Copic, which makes sense because those are the 2 that I have the most of. This was the first one we pulled, Ohuhu 100. Well, it's a lot darker than I thought it would be. And then we got this rosy pink, and I don't think it's a bad color scheme, but it also doesn't seem like a spectacular color scheme, if you know what I mean. I think I can make something work. Next up, we have the random ones. This is gonna be a disaster, I can already tell. This green I actually use a lot, because I don't have a whole lot of greens in my other ones. Look how, that looks so dark on camera. What the fuck is gonna happen here? A disaster, that's what. I am not looking forward to that one at all. And then we did Copics, right? First we pulled a red. It works, it's very safe. And last but not least, these. I believe we pulled 2 browns. You got all the dark colors, huh? I don't remember which brown we pulled second, but I guess it doesn't really matter. That's so orangey, wow. This color scheme is beautiful. I don't know how we lucked out so well with that. And now we sketch stuff, right? That's the next step. These I'll need for the finished illustration. Let's sketch in purple. I feel like I never sketch in purple. Where should we start? So I draw a lot of character art, right? So I guess it makes sense to draw a character, but I think the only one that I could really make work with a character is this one, and then maybe this one. This one reminds me of Andy's color scheme vaguely, like my character Andy. If their color scheme was just darker, it would be this. I think I'm actually gonna start with this one, the little one here. The fact that we have this black really makes me want to use like some sort of leather jacket or leather pants or something, because that black on its own is very like, it's very intense, so I want to try and tone that down a little bit by like I'll use this as the leather color, and then I'll use one of these as sort of like a highlight color to help break up the colors. Let us begin. Other than that, I don't have any real plan for any of these, so I'm not sure how much time I want to spend on each given illustration, because I mean, I am making 4 of them, so kind of like this idea. Her body facing this side, but she's like looking over her shoulder at us. I really like this idea. And like wavy hair. I think my instinct is to make the hair red and the skin yellow. I think that's the best way for me to make it work. But I might also use the white of the paper as like a base tone and then shade with the yellow. Ooh, what if I added like a flower in her hair and made that yellow? Ooh, what if we added some sort of like chain down here on the jacket to also make it yellow? Here, I'll do one more sketch here. I'll start with this. I plan on coloring it kind of like this. I'll color the hair in. You know, if only I had like, I would totally be down to like, I colored over the chain, but you know the idea. I think it would be really cool to leave the skin white. I would think it would look super cool to shade with a gray, but that's not really an option. But I also am not super crazy about shading with the yellow. Oh, I just got another idea. Well, the issue I'm having is the skin, right? So what if I just, this might seem dumb, but hear me out. We already have the flower in her hair, so deadass, what if we just have her hold a flower over her face? It might be dumb, but here I am sketching something out with no guidelines like an absolute mad lad. And then we can make the flower, it'll be like a sunflower. How did this yellow layer on top of this red? Will it lift the color at all? It will. I don't know if I'll be able to use that at all. What if in the highlights I tried to blend this out? So then that way there's both yellows and reds. I really like that idea. Yes! The next one I want to work with, I think this. Maybe? Just because what comes to mind is something more like cutesy but also kind of fantasy. And then the next 2 I'll try and avoid drawing girls. Otherwise every drawing will just be of a girl. The way I picture it now is having like the pink be a skin tone, the purple be a hair tone, and then clothes have the brown. Oh, I guess I should probably test how they layer on top of each other like I did last time. That's how they look. Again, I don't know how I'm gonna use that. If anything, I might layer this on top of the brown to put some sort of pattern onto the clothing. She kind of is reminding me of the other girl. Maybe they're connected in some way. Or maybe I'm just uncreative today. I kind of picture her being a child, which I think gives me the opportunity to have a full body frame if she's like crouching down. If what I end up drawing for all 4 of them is people, then I assume they're all going to be of this nature. I would like to change that if I have the opportunity. Let's make her some sort of elf-looking girl. I want her to have chunky socks. And I love drawing fantasy bullshit, so that's kind of just what her character is gonna be. Pink skin. The pink would probably be best for the highlights there, huh? Could leave her shoes white. I just got an idea. I don't know if it'll work well. Not sure how I like that. I mean, I guess it's okay. I really like this idea too. Third one, gonna be this one, because I'm terrified to work with this one. There's this like certain face angle that I've been really digging lately. It's like almost a side view, but still like kind of 3/4-ish. Here we have like a waist up shot. Here we have like a full body. What if I did just like a headshot? These two would make both. No, these two both make for very good skin tone. Ooh, I have an idea. What if I use this one as a skin tone and then this one is the hair? Bet you won't expect that. It is reminiscent of Andy though, so I think let's put stars on his face. I think playing around it's like the same general angle, but he's looking up. I think that could be interesting to look at. And then I liked this general shape of the hair here. He looks emo. But let's be honest, most of my characters do. I think he would get along well with the leather jacket lady. Maybe they're married and this is their adopted elven child. It's a story. They're all connected. It is a pretty orange skin tone. I feel like there needs to be more blue, but I'm not quite sure how to go about that. The only thing I could really think of is putting stars in his hair, but I don't really know how one would go about that. There we go. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just going to make the hair longer and then have like star hair pieces in there. And now, the moment I've been dreading. I have no godly idea what I'm going to do with these. Let me play around with these colors a little bit more. I think my best bet would be to see how they layer with each other. Doesn't help that these two tones are incredibly similar. What do? That is the question. Okay, well, deadass, I have no idea, so I do have markers to reorganize thanks to me mixing them all together, so I will do some thinking off camera, and then I will come back and sketch some thumbnails once I have an idea of a direction. All of these came super easily, so I guess all of the difficulties from the other ones are just transferred over to this one, and now I'm suffering. I will be back to thumbnail. Alrighty. I've returned. So I was thinking about this. Aside from me not really liking how red and green go together, I think the main issue is that they're very similar in tones, I guess. So if you look at all of the other ones, there's a fair bit of contrast between all of them. But for here, the only way that I could get contrast is by layering them on top of each other and making them super dark. Draw a rectangle. Planning for it to be kind of another headshot, but I don't want it to be the same. Make him look evil. Because I think playing with lighting would give me a big advantage. Like if I were to make the shading and the highlights a lot more extreme. And with the extreme lighting, let's make an evil looking dude. The red I'm mostly just gonna use to make things darker. Kind of want his hair to be shaggy, so then that way it's like covering his face mostly. I'd have to layer this down first and have the background be very dark, because I don't think the lighting effect would really work super well. No, this is the best solution that I could come up with. This would make him look less evil, but I mean... Actually, no, I like the evil looking one. I don't draw a lot of creepy art. Not quite sure how to go about it, but I mean, I'm not comfortable looking at him, so I guess that's something. I mostly just wanted like shaggy bangs, so then that way I could cast like a harsh shadow across his face. He makes me uncomfortable, but I mean, I guess if I'm going for creepy, that's a good thing. I think I'm ready to sketch stuff now. I know I said I'd start off with the one that I'm least excited about, but what I think I might do, I want to end on this one, because I think this one's my favorite. So I'll do this one, then this one, then this one, then that one. Sound like a plan? You guys don't have a say in it anyway. Let's get started. I think for liners, I'm going to use a color that's like in here. So here I'll probably either line it with a pink or a purple. I think already I can tell that this is not placed right. Let's see, her shoulders would be about here, and her other hand was up here on her knee. That's a good blocking in of the pose. I suppose. Ha ha! Bad puns! Kind of picture her ears being able to like move and stuff. But I guess it's like, I was thinking of Delaney. Because if you know my character Delaney, he's a vampire, so he has pointy ears. But his ears are very like stable, like they can't flop around and stuff. But her, I picture her ears being able to move. So she's like dog ears, I guess, or cat ears. Wait, so we said that she's the adopted elven child of those other two people. Maybe the other guy is the secret evil butler. There's something about the facial expression in the thumbnail that I can't quite capture here. I'm trying to keep these shapes. I'm not quite sure what they are, but I want to keep them. Oh, what if she has wings and she's a fairy? I never draw fairies. That would be something fun and fantastical, right? Camera's starting to run a little low on battery, so I'll try and get this sketch done before I have to charge. Ooh, maybe I could stick her in Robin and Arietta's universe? People who don't watch my channel who are watching this video are confused. Ooh, what if instead of bows, this shape that I keep bringing on this, like, what if I made, like, my pencil broke, so I guess it's not a good idea. Sorry, guys. I love her. I accidentally created a new child for me to draw. She is now one of my art children. I think I'm gonna hold off on drawing that hand for now, because I actually have no idea what's going on with it, so. These are weird, man. Well, thank you for listening to my stellar commentary. I think I need to draw her hand a little bit more extended than what I drew, because it would need to be pretty level with the feet. I think just having her hand resting like that would be the best option. There's a little extra space down here. I gotta figure out what to do with that. Don't actually know what fairy wings look like. But here's where we're at so far with the first illustration. I will outline this and slap some color on it once my camera is done charging. So see you probably tomorrow because it's getting kind of late. I have returned. It is the next day, so I do have coffee, which is, if brain. It's a little early, if you couldn't tell. Let's get to lining. I decided to go with this pink one. Artist struggles, am I right? I really like her design. I'm definitely going to play around with this character. I'd really love to play around with her and use her for something. Aren't I supposed to be keeping things simple? I mean, if anything, the coloring will probably simple. It'll probably be simple because, I mean, I only have 3 markers to work with anyway. Normally I use a bajillion, so I'm still not really satisfied with this hand, but I mean, it's a 3 marker challenge, not a draw your hands in a way that they look like a good drawn hand challenge. Once I'm done outlining this, I think I might actually bounce over to the next drawing and do the sketch, because I mean, I kind of want this to have a little time to sit. I'm always wary of erasing the pencil immediately after I do my line art. And with that, I think I'm done. Set this aside. I'm a little nervous about this one, mostly just because it's like, aside from the horrific color scheme I pulled, it's just so not like anything that I really do. But also it's the only thing that I could think of to make these colors work. It's doing like the Debbie Ryan face. Since this drawing is a lot bigger, I'm not sure I'll use the 3mm. I don't like you. He makes me uncomfortable. The Debbie Ryan face. I should add the hand. No, this is supposed to be a creepy drawing. I think I should make the nose kind of thin. He looks really tired. I mean, same. Plot twist, this drawing is just me on my way to get coffee in the morning. I think if there is any sketch for me to simplify a lot, it would be this one. I think most of the details are gonna come from the extreme lighting. I'm trying to make his face shape as symmetrical as possible. There's one thing I've learned, and that's symmetry is unsettling. If you look like in nature and stuff, symmetry is pretty unnatural. If something is symmetrical, it's not a very organic shape, so if you want something to be not super pleasant, of course that's not all there is to it. Like, you know, you gotta give him the Debbie Ryan face. He's a severed head. He makes me uncomfortable. But I suppose it's time for the line art. Once I'm done, I'll bounce back to our little fairy girl. I don't use black as line art, like, ever, but I think for this time I'm going to. It's shocking, I know. And then I also wanted to use black line art for the girl in the leather jacket, just because I think for those ones, the harsh black lines would actually benefit the drawing. He's angry. I didn't mean for his eyebrows to be so thick. Oh, those lines are scary to make. I sense that's how stressful the rest of the hair is gonna be. I remember one time in my animation class in high school, we had a whole debate about like the art stylistic choice of putting eyebrows, like having them lined through the hair, which as you can see, I do, so you can imagine my stance on that. I just don't like keeping the eyebrows covered up. The eyebrows are very expressive. The only time that I don't is if a character is styled with like hair over like one of their eyes. But in cases like this where it just kind of like goes over it a bit, then I keep it. The nib on this is a little damaged. How am I supposed to line under these circumstances? Even though I clearly am continuing to line this. I think I'm done, and I think I don't want to look at him for the moment. By the time we are done with this, that line art should be dry enough to where I can erase it. And then we'll do the same thing with the next two, I guess. I think I need a new eraser. This one isn't erasing very well. Or maybe I just pressed too hard with a pencil. That's also very likely. I don't know if you can see on camera, but the pencil is for sure still visible. Put this down. My instinct is always to start with the skin, so I guess I'll do that. Normally when I put the base tones down, I'll use two markers at once to add highlights, but I can't really do that. Should I leave some white spaces for the highlights? I mean, I guess I could do it now, and then if I don't like it, I could just cover it up later. Ooh, what if you put the two ends of the marker together, they'll like mix together on the nib. So maybe if I do that with like the brown or the purple, I could get a shading color. Because shading with one of these would definitely be too harsh for how soft the skin is. And let me bounce over to my sketchbook real quick. Let me see how this would work out. I don't know which one will look better. I'll put off making that decision. Got to do further blending here, but it's fine. And actually test how this layers on top of itself. I don't really like the way that the brown layered on top of the purple, so I think for shading I'll layer that on itself. For her wings, I pulled up fairy wing pictures on Pinterest because I've never made a fairy before. I guess they're kind of like butterfly wings. Not that that helps because I don't draw butterflies either. Coloring her clothes. And then for shading, I think this will just work out fine. In the thumbnail, I colored the bow on her neck brown, but then it's like all of this is brown, and so the top part of her dress is brown, which means this part here would be brown. But then also, like, I don't think it would look good if I left it white. I don't know, man. Coloring job on this isn't the cleanest, but I mean, what can you do? Other than color better, I guess. Oh, I got an idea. So right here, and then on the shoes, I layered the pink on top to like lift it. So what if I did the same thing? I should probably put the brown down first. But what if I did the same thing on the bow? I think that might help. It didn't really work out here, I'm not sure why. There is a tone difference, so I guess it's fine. Definitely very excited to play around with her design more in a time where I am not limited to 3 markers. I might do that in the sketch vlog too. Might be fun to take you guys along with me. Shading is definitely a lot different when you only use 1 marker. Not in a bad way, just different. I think that's about all I'm gonna get from the hair. I think let's just shade with this and see how that goes. I think shading with the purple is too big of a jump. Do I want to shade the skin with the pink or the, do I want to shade the skin with the brown or the purple? Let's go with the purple, I think. I don't know. I'm scared though. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get as much depth in the shading as I normally would, since I am limited to just 3 markers. No, that was a lot. Oh god! It's fine. Remember, the worst thing that'll happen is that it'll look bad. It will not spontaneously combust. Do you guys remember spontaneous human combustion? If I were to spontaneously combust right now, that would get a lot of views. I think that's about it for the skin. I think I want to try shading the hair one more time and just layer again in a couple of areas. So, to fix this issue, fuck it, freehand. Let me add some on top just for balance reasons. Can't remember if people have established if using a white pen is cheating or not. in the 3-marker challenge, but I'm gonna do it, so fuck you guys. It just needs white highlights, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me add just a bit of a white outline around her, because fuck it, which, as the videos go on, seems to be my new catchphrase. And there she is. Here's the first drawing. I really, really like her. I wasn't expecting to make a new OC. Definitely really like it. I was going to say it's my favorite so far, but then I realized it's the only finished illustration so far. Next, we have this guy. Let's erase these pencil marks. For this one, it doesn't matter as much if you could see the pencil, because it's going to be super dark anyway. It's really just how much work coloring this background is going to be. I got an idea. Let's use this tape, which is very much suiting for him. Kind of like how people do with watercolors. We'll border it off, so then that way it's like there's a white frame around everything. That should make my coloring job a little bit easier. Washi tapes like this I use as like paint tape, because when the fuck am I ever going to use this? So we layer the red down first. I guess I'll start by going around the character. Got a little red on his neck, but he'll be okay. I guess it doesn't matter if this layer is super flat or not, because I mean, once it's all darkened up, you won't really see streaks anyway. And I got it on his ear. Oh! For an artist, I'm really bad at coloring inside the lines, or outside the lines in this case. Now there's an overwhelming scent of alcohol markers in the air. And then next, I think it was this one, right? A really lovely use of ink here. Hell yeah, we did it! Let's peel this paint off. I mean, the the tape. Hell yes. I'm not sure if I want to go over this again. I mean, I already took the tape down, so I guess for now the answer is no. Kinda want to start with this. No particular reason why. I've been terrified of this drawing since the moment I pulled the markers, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm switching to the bullet nib. I hate the brush nibs on these markers. They're too soft to work with nicely. This is gonna take a long time. But I don't want to use the brush nib. I guess sacrifices must be made. I also think I'm going to shade the hair completely before I start with the skin. Because for the skin, this is the one that I'm going to shade with. And so the contrast would probably just bug me, or lack thereof. It should be fine once we shade this hair. I'll start with this. I think it's about all the contrast I can get with those. I'll keep this one handy and then do kind of the same trick I did for the background. Oh yeah, I colored his eyes red too, right? I think the shading is still a bit more red than I would like. At the same time, I can't imagine there's anything I could really do about that, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Oh, he looks rough, man. I think I need to darken up the bangs a bit more, because they're blending in with the skin just a bit much. I mean, he's certainly there. He certainly does exist. That fact cannot be denied. I think to avoid having the skin and the hair blend in anymore, I think I should just shade the skin a bit more by just layering this on itself. There he is! I'll touch up some of the white spaces, and then I kind of want to go along the edges to make him pop a little from the background. Bring it around town. Bring it around town. Was this drawing a success? Maybe? I guess you guys can decide. I don't hate it. I think given the hand I was dealt, I did the best I could. The drawing is fine. Would I make it normally on my own? No. Am I going to make something like this again? Probably not. But this is here. And that's about all I have to say about it. I guess I don't really have much more to say. I already smeared the white highlight everywhere. It's fine, we don't have to look at this anymore. Next, we'll do the blue dude. I think out of all of them, this one has the best color scheme, so I'm not really worried about this one. And this starry emo motherfucker. That's not how faces look, is it? I think that's a little better. Look at that bang ponytail. Kind of like the last one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use my 0.3 millimeter, because since this one's also a pretty large headshot on the page. Not sure if there will be a need. I mean, I'm kind of starting to see the need. This one is a little bit more detailed. Is it just me, or are stars unnecessarily difficult to draw? They're so frustrating. And for what? Could add that to the list of things that should be easy for artists to draw but aren't. Stars, circles, straight lines, anything else? Aren't ears like pretty much just decorative? Like, we don't need this whole part to see. They're just kind of there. I mean, to here. I'm such an idiot. You know how you see out your ear. Some loose strands. His hair is probably cut in layers because he's emo. I don't know how half of my characters always end up being edgy. It just happens. It's okay. We all know it's because I was an emo kid once. I believe our sketch is done. Of course, the liner of choice I picked is blue. When I was coloring it, I felt like I needed more blue. I also have them in a brush pen and a PM, so I'll put that on standby for any parts that might need to be shaded in. I like how I brought those other two out for shading in areas, and I'm just still using this one. Yeah, held my breath for too long. Okay, mission accomplished. Slightly lightheaded from how much I was holding my breath. It happens. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for your art. If that means holding your breath until you pass out, then so be it. There, now you can judge me as I line the rest of him. We are almost done with this line art, which means it's almost time to begin sketching the other one, which I am very excited for. The other one, I think, conceptually, it's my favorite one. This one does have my favorite color scheme, though. And the fairy girl has my favorite subject matter. I think she's adorable. And then the other one is my favorite ugly-ass bitch-looking one. And with that, we can yeet him to the side. Last sketch of the video. In the thumbnail, I have her eye peeking between some of the petals, so I have to decide if I want that. Let's go for it. So her eye would be here. That means the rest of her head would be there. Another flower up here. Get distracted by the squirrel outside my window like I'm a fucking dog. How does one hold a flower? I don't remember the last time I've actually held a flower now that I think about it. Probably a literal child. Should I be looking up a reference for what a sunflower actually looks like? Absolutely. Am I going to do it? Absolutely not. I mean, I know generally what a sunflower looks like. That should be good enough, right? I mean, as long as it's identifiable as a sunflower when people look at it, that's all that matters to me at the moment. And I think it's pretty safe to bounce back to the face, or what we can see of the face. The hair, I should say. I don't know if this hair makes any logical sense, but it is in fact here. Okay, so a funny thing happened. I stopped recording that day. I can't remember why though. So this is like 2 days later, and we're still here. We'll just get back to it, I guess. I can't remember if I was saying anything important or anything insightful or helpful, but considering that I can't remember, I'm going to assume the answer is probably not. I also don't know if this is zoomed in at the same angle, but we can pretend. I don't know if having zippers on the collar has any sort of practicality, but it looks cool and edgy, so. You know, that hand doesn't look the best. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if this hand isn't super great. You can barely see it anyway. Draw this hair that I don't think makes any logical sense. Who cares about logic and physics, am I right? I'll add some strands here for no other fact then. I think this space needs to be filled. Now I am finished with all the sketching for this video. You can go bring these here, get my little buddy here. After line art, we can finish the third illustration of the video. The whole purpose of me bouncing back and forth between them is so that way the line art can have time to sit. But that one's been sitting for like 2 days, so I don't actually know if I'm gonna use those other liners. Every single time I bring out more than one and say I'm gonna use it, I very rarely do. So strange that I'm using black for line art twice in this video. I don't even think I can remember the last time I did that. So the fact that it happened twice in this video is a little odd. Good thing I'm filming this later in the day when I've already had my coffee. I didn't warm up, so I'm having a bit of a rough time with this line art. Shaky hands would not help this situation. I do have water though, so everyone's always telling me to stay hydrated. There you go. I got water. Are you happy? I even have another bottle for when this one runs out. Take that. I take care of myself. Do you take care of yourselves? If you don't take care of yourselves, go drink water. Do it. I dare you. I dare you to drink water. So now you gotta do it, or are you a pussy? I don't know why all of my supportive comments are just aggressive. It's threatening, but in a good way. I gotta shove my face in here, don't mind me. Can you even see my— oh! I like how the flower is giant and then the stem is that big. Turn this around. When I turned that upside down, for some reason I got very confused by the lines, so maybe not. This hair is really fun. Again, it makes no sense, but I mean, does art have to— I have a universe full of cryptids and fantasy creatures. I don't know why I'm so focused on how this hair doesn't make any sense. The protagonist of my upcoming webcomic is literally a vampire, so I don't think realism exists. I should just stop talking. How about that? Just train wreck of a hand. It's fine, you don't need to focus on it. Everybody, don't look at this hand. What if I just censored it out for the entire video? There's nothing to see here. This would be a time where it would be good to switch liners when I'm coloring things in like this. Am I going to? No, because why do the smart thing when you can make your life harder, am I right? Don't do things helpful to you. Whoops. This is why you should do things helpful to you. I say as I continue to not do things helpful to me. Wasn't there I thought I added a chain here, but there's no chain in the sketch. I'm a dumbass. We'll just add one with the line art, all dangerous-like. I did it. I am not a mere man. I am no mortal. I was gonna do that until I'm done, but I just realized I would run out of breath. And I'm done! This line art is all done. Bring back our boy! Forgot how judgmental he looks. Have trouble erasing the lines because you pressed too hard with your pencil. Oh god! And then you almost ruined the drawing. That's my tutorial on how to art. Thank you for watching. I forgot how orange this skin tone was. Oh my goodness. In the drawing of the fairy girl, I left white spaces for highlights, and I think I'm gonna do that again here. Because I think if I didn't, it would be super flat. Beautiful emo Oompa Loompa man. Oh no, this looks so funny to me. Oh, I'm too easily amused. Since there isn't a nice transitional tone, the highlights are gonna be a bit more extreme. I think I'll color in the stars. Kind of want to let this sit before I layer on top of it to shade. Not so sure I want to shade with the hair color. I wonder if I should leave... I was just gonna suggest leaving the star down here white, but I don't think that'll fit with the rest of the drawing. Maybe I could layer this necklace part with the hair color, and that'll probably make it darker. Let's back to this. It's not enough contrast. We'll do the tip thing. Can I get enough contrast in this shading? Let's find out. We'll add some softer shading by just layering this, I guess. I'm so tempted to use a colorless blender to shade this out, but I think that would be cheating. Part of me wonders if I should have swapped the hair color and the skin color, then he'd look a lot less Oompa Loompa-y. It's too late for that now. I was also gonna use the skin tone to color in the highlights, but I think I'm gonna leave them white. I mean, I left all the other highlights white, so... Colored outside the lines. I'm a failure. There's something about this that's reminding me of like old anime art. Put some white here because I just realized I covered over the highlights of that star. I want to make these a little darker, but I don't want to go over them with the blue yet. Or at all, really. Coloring this is so strange. The way that this is like the exact opposite of how I normally color. This didn't layer too well on itself, so I want to see how the blue layers on it because I might shade it with the blue. I don't love that. I'll use these and do the tip thing. And that method of shading isn't my favorite thing to do, but I mean, I don't think I have much of a choice in the matter. I think this is about it for the hair, at least for now. See if I can layer this on top to add shading to this. It's not working out as well as I would have hoped, but maybe I could layer on top of this too. Let's find out. That worked better. I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera, but let's add some more stars with this. Because if there's anything this drawing needs, it's more stars. Oh, Joe, look at that. It's an emo Oompa Loompa. Slap some highlights on this and we'll call it a drawing. That went by so quickly, my goodness. I feel like I barely spent time with him. Which, I mean, he looks like he doesn't want to spend a lot of time with me, so I guess he's probably happy about that. I probably should have left some white spaces on the necklace, but I did not, because I'm a dummy man. Is that all I can do? Just doesn't feel done, because I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But we'll call it done. Here's our emo Oompa Loompa man. Add him to the pile. And now we have one more. If anyone has any tips for not pressing as hard with their pencil, please let me know, because I'm suffering. I think first I'll add in the black, because I'm not planning on blending this with anything. So once I add this down, the rest should be pretty easy. I believe. What do I believe? I think I'll do hair now. That's what I believe. We'll see how the red layers on top of itself. If that doesn't shade well, I think I'm just gonna not shade. There's too much of a tonal difference between the yellow and the red, so the feather blending thing I normally do for hair, I don't think is gonna work here. I also think maybe because I could do the tip thing that I've been doing throughout the video, but I think if I am going to try and blend out the stuff in the jacket highlights, then maybe I should do less blending in the hair to kind of make those two seem a little different. In the thumbnail, I didn't actually color in her shirt. I have no idea what that's gonna be. I wonder if I should wait to color the shirt in. That could be like the last thing I do, because then I could just color it whatever color I think is needed more. Is this marker drying out? Do I have a refill for it? I think I do. I hope I do. Otherwise we're gonna be in trouble. I do have one! Got some intense Copic refilling action. Is this what you guys signed up for? It's not like super. It just is a little dry, which is making my job difficult. Oh, and it's dripping. It'll be fine. I'll use this. It's just a sheet of paper, but it'll be fine. Anyways. Actually, I just got an idea for the shirt. Color the center of the sunflower. I was planning on doing the tip thing, so maybe I could do that for the shirt too. It's a little uneven, but I guess it gets the job done. It's not exactly a big focal point of the drawing, so... How should I go about this? I guess I'll start with the yellow, and then I'll move to this, and then tip stuff. Tip stuff. Blending these two is gonna be harder than I thought. I think the better way to do it would be put the red down first, and then do the tip thing. Did you just see that bug fly through? That's disrespectful, sir! Where did you even come from? This is not your home. Don't you have a bug family waiting for you? Is that all? I think? I don't think layering this really does anything. It's not the most layerable color. Yep, my hand is all yellow from when I spilled ink. Do you want to do this just to add a little bit of depth to the sunflower petals? You kind of want to add something like how I added to the rest of them, like in the background, but I'm not quite sure what that would be. I guess I'll add some white highlights while I think about it. The only thing I could think of to do is to add like a thicker black outline to the rest of her with a Copic marker, but I don't think I really like that idea, so I don't want to do it. What if I just added like a black border to the page itself? Grab my ruler. Then once I do this, I might add a white highlight around her wherever she touches the border. Am I brave enough to use the chisel nib? Let's go for it. Oh my god, that was so stressful. 3 more sides to go. Just need some white around the edges and it'll be time for a recap. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. I don't know why I don't do as many challenges. I always have a lot of fun doing them. And then I do one and then I neglect to do them for like a year. Heck to the yeah. We'll look back. Here's our thumbnail sketches and also these ones. And we've got the first one we made, and then the second one we made, and then the third one. Can I fit them all in frame? And then the third one we made, and the fourth one we made. I have to say this one's my least favorite, not necessarily because of how it turned out, even though it got smudged. It's mostly just the memories of struggles. Color scheme wise, I really like this one. Subject matter wise, I like this one because I love her and I want to marry her. And then there's this one, who turned into a character. I wasn't expecting that, but I am planning on doing a sketch vlog where I work on her design. Normally when I make a character on the channel, I'll leave the naming up to you guys, but I may or may not have picked out a name already. So you guys are gonna have to wait for the video to see that. Let me know which one's your favorite, which one's your least favorite, and also if you would have done anything differently with any of the colors. I did my darn best. So let me know your thoughts, and let me know what you were drawing while you were watching this video, because you were probably drawing something. Gotta make it pretty. I tried. That's about all I have for you guys today. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts on the drawings, what you thought of what I did with them. And if you are new here, hello, my name is Oliver. I post a new video every single Wednesday and bonus videos whenever I can. We're getting very close to 100,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. And if you want to see more from me, then feel free to follow me on social media, which will be on screen now and linked in the description box below. I post my art to Instagram, so this bug, man, keeps flying and is distracting me. If you want to see more of my art, follow me on Instagram, because that's where I post, but if not, don't worry about it. And there will also be some videos for you to check out on screen now and linked in the iCard for you to watch. Again, I appreciate it. I need to stop clapping my hands. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!